What's up, YouTube? Bay Area Baller back again. Today, we're going to be talking about all three teams in the Bay Area: the Warriors, the Giants, and the 49ers. And we're going to start off with the Warriors because we're going live right after the post game. They just wrapped up against the Denver Nuggets. It was a tough loss, 112 to 110. Klay Thompson had a chance to win the game at the buzzer with a three-pointer. Unfortunately, it clanked off the iron, and it was a tough loss for the Warriors. The Nuggets were going into it with no Nikola Jokic, and we're going to be talking about the game. And I'm joined by my buddy Shardol of SG Sports Talk channel. Shardol, how you doing today?
What's up, Barry Baller 18? How's your day going so far tonight?
Hey, it's going pretty well. Besides this loss that the Warriors just had, it was a tough one. But other than that, my day's going great, Shardol.
So I thought this game was pretty hard fought for the Warriors, but they weren't able to complete the comeback in the end. It was 112 to 110. I thought they were gonna win the game on a game-winning three-point shot in the fourth quarter. But you know what? It didn't happen tonight. It wasn't the Warriors' chance to complete it tonight on in Denver.
You're absolutely right. And it wasn't the most efficient night from the Splash Brothers. Steph Curry, 8 of 28. Klay Thompson, 9 of 28. Neither one of them were good from three-point range. Steph, in particular, was 2 of 14 from distance. That's very un-Steph Curry-like. I'm looking at Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole was a solid. He was 7 for 13 from the field. He wasn't attacking the rim, but he as well was 0 for 3 from distance. So it's just the Warriors are a really good three-point shooting basketball team for the most part, but tonight it didn't show up. The jumper was not there, and I'll tell you, Michael Porter Jr. of the Denver Nuggets, he was the best player on the court tonight. Where did he finish up? Looking for Porter Jr. He had 29 points. Is where he finished up at 10 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from distance, 11 boards, and that's what probably caught my eye the most. Usually I think of Michael Porter Jr. as, just this kind of more of a finesse guy. Like he's big, but he likes to shoot it. But today he was really putting in work at all areas of the court. He had some nice dunks. He was really operating in the mid-range really well. He was draining three-point shots. So Michael Porter, he was the best player on the court. So anytime that happens, it's and your top two scorers have rough games, like it's going to be tough to pull out a win.
The Denver Nuggets didn't have Nikola Jokic on the floor, and I don't know how the Nuggets still came up with the win, even if Jokic wasn't playing on the court.
That's a good point because Jokic, we know him; he's the two-time MVP, and I feel like their offense definitely looked different than you are anticipating seeing the Denver Nuggets. Usually, they throw it into Jokic in the post or he's in the high post, and then they're running a bunch of actions all around him, and Jokic just finds the open guys off the screens. Well, Jokic is out, so their offense was different. The ball was in the hand of Jamal Murray a lot more, and Jamal Murray also had a really good game, 26 points, 10 of 21 from the field, so the efficiency was there. He had the 8 assists. Aaron Gordon with an eye-popping 7 assists. Like, that's not normal for him. But, when Jokic is out, you're going to find other players are going to have to step their game up and play make. So Aaron Gordon, 7 assists. Jamal Murray was facilitating. So that's where the Nuggets kind of made up for Jokic being out.
Like I said, the Golden State Warriors committed way too many turnovers in this game against Denver. You're not going to win a game when you turn over the ball way too many times. That's not going to win you any ball games.
No, we've seen it. The turnovers have been an issue this year. The Warriors tend to be a high turnover team in general because they make so many passes. And a lot of the time they're really good passes. But when you're making so many, sometimes, the opposing team's going to step into the passing lane or one's going to clank off someone's hand. So with the Warriors being, such a high volume of passing operation, it leads to more turnovers in that way. And let's see if I can pull up what they finished up with here. 15 turnovers. To be honest, it's below their average. They're averaging about 16 a game. So they were right where kind of typically they are in terms of turnovers, which is still towards the bottom of the league in terms of they're turning the ball over at a high rate. But the 3-point shot, Shardol, they were 9 of 42 from distance. Okay, 21%. That's not going to cut it. It's hard to win a game when you're a 3-point shooting team as the Warriors are, and it's not dropping. So that's where I'm kind of looking at it. The shot wasn't falling. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson were struggling from the field today, and that's why they lost.
And it wasn't the Klay Thompson was heating in the fourth. He hit those two big shots, but
He
it
did.
was not
He did.
enough. Like it was
No.
not enough.
No.
Like we still lost by 2, so that's really the thing that we have to look at.
And you know who I want to talk about, Shardol, is Kevon Looney. Like, how many times do we see Kevon Looney just fighting and battling for these offensive rebounds? And Shardol, he's got the most offensive rebounds in the NBA. Like, he's working so hard on the glass. I think it needs to be acknowledged. Kevon Looney, he's been spectacular this year. So consistent. The guy plays every single game. Excuse me, but I just wanted to shout out Kevon Looney because he was phenomenal.
When you look at Kevon Looney, he's a player that people don't really pay a lot of attention to. He's a really good basketball player. And you got to give him as much love because he's a center and he really does his great job of, rebounding the balls, bringing the balls down, getting possession of the ball.
Yep, that's what he's doing. Shardol, he had 7 offensive rebounds tonight. Like, that's insane. He's keeping, and a lot of times, if he's not getting the offensive rebound and putting it back into the rim himself, he's kicking it out to open shooters because those offensive rebounds, you get them, the defense is in scramble mode. So it leads to a lot of open kickouts to Klay Thompson, to a Steph Curry, to a DiVincenzo. And DiVincenzo, man, he was spectacular tonight. Where did he finish up? DiVincenzo was 8 of 12 from the field, so the efficiency was there. He had 18 points, 13 rebounds. And what I love about DiVincenzo is he brings it every night. You can count on DiVincenzo attacking the glass, grabbing offensive rebounds, because that's something you can control. You can control your motor and your energy. Whether you can control, making every 3-point shot, you can't. But you can control your effort level. And that's what Donte DiVincenzo brings every game. And I love to see it. Shoot, we got some in the chat. You know what? I've been neglecting the chat. The chat is live right now. Daniel said, "What up, baller?" Daniel, thanks for stopping by. Camper report. Ben, I just had a show with Ben on his channel. Check that out. That was big time. A lot of Niner talk. What's up, Ben? And Mark stopping by. What's up, Mark? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Daniel said, Looney's a warrior through and through. No pun intended. Absolutely. This dude just fights. I mean, leading the NBA in offensive rebounds, that's insane. The dude is, where would this team be without Kevon Looney? I wouldn't even want to think about the Warriors without Kevon Looney. He's just so good. Set such good screens that frees up these shooters. Kevon Looney's big time. It's like how many times during the game do you find yourself just saying Looney? I say it at least like 2-3 times a night, like routinely when I'm watching these Warriors games. So Kevon Looney, no doubt. DiVincenzo was big time. I'm just checking my notes here, and the Warriors actually started out with a lead in this game. They were up 10 at the end of the first quarter, and then in the second, Michael Porter Jr. started tearing it up. He had 14 points in the second. Draining threes, attacking the rim too. There's, with Jokic out, some players know, hey, there's more shots to be had. Michael Porter Jr. was definitely more aggressive. Shardol, any other observations from this game?
So I watched the movie Uncle Drew, and Aaron Gordon was in that movie, and he was like the real life Casper playing against this talented Golden State Warriors basketball team.
Yep. Aaron Gordon's, I mean, he's having a really good year because you know what? The Nuggets are utilizing him in the paint. I felt like previously, whether he was with the Magic or he was becoming too perimeter oriented, but Denver has him living in the paint and feasting, and it's really suiting him well. He's having a really good year. The Nuggets, they're a really good team. It's the top team in the Western Conference. So Aaron Gordon was really good. I actually grew up watching Aaron Gordon's older brother because he was my age, Drew, when he was playing in the WCAL. He was at Midi. So I used to watch a lot of his older brother, Drew, who was also a really good athlete and liked to dunk everything. But Aaron Gordon, I want to pull up his statistics because I thought he played pretty good here. I mean, he was 6 of 18, so that was pretty inefficient, but he did have the 13 points, the 10 rebounds, and the 7 assists. So, he had his ways he impacted the game. Well, let's see if we have any.
What
Go
are your
ahead.
thoughts if the Warriors want to win? Because they have 3 more games remaining in the season. They have one game on April 4th, another game on April 7th against Sacramento. Then they come and play the Portland Trailblazers, and that game's in Portland at the Moda Center.
No kidding. Okay, I'm going to pull up their schedule too. Yeah, you're right. So the Warriors got OKC on Tuesday, Sacktown on Friday, and then they wrap it up in Portland on Sunday. You know what it is, Shardol? The Warriors got to win out. You got to win these 3 games because that's going to lock in your spot where they are. Let's see if I can pull up some NBA standings because where they stand right now, I like where they're at. If they were to win out, they're sitting in a good spot. Okay, so right now, Yahoo has them in the 6th seed. So they're avoiding the play-in. It's critical, Shardol. They avoid the play-in tournament because anytime you're playing in a 1 or a 2-game scenario, something bad can happen. You can lose a game. It's not the 7-game series that we know these Warriors are so good in. So they have to avoid the play-in. Right now, they are. So if they win out, that means they're going to avoid the play-in, and that's where they want to be. So these last 3 games are absolutely critical.
Baller, do you agree with the comment that Klay Thompson said that nobody wants to face the Warriors in the play-in tournament?
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, no one wants to face the Warriors in the play-in, but the Warriors, they got to avoid it. All right. If they are forced to play in the play-in, that is definitely not ideal.
And if you had a team that you wanted to have the Warriors play in the face in the play-in tournament, because there's so many great teams that Golden State can play. You got Denver, you got Sacramento.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's in the playoffs, not necessarily the play-in, because those teams are going to avoid the play-in tournament. But I would say in the first round, who would I want the Warriors matching up with? I think I want to see that NorCal rivalry. I want to see Sacramento. I know they've had a good year, but it's a team rather than playing, the Nuggets or the Suns, or Memphis. I'm not scared of Memphis, but give me Sacramento because they're a team who's also had some struggles on defense. So I think the Warriors might be able to carve them up and, come playoff time, it's a different game. The game slows down, right? The scores right now, we're seeing all these 130s and scores in the 140s. I don't anticipate that in the playoffs. When the game slows down, I'm expecting lower scoring games. And the Warriors, I would probably look at Sacktown, and I think the Warriors will get it done in 6.
I agree with you. I would love to see Sacramento and Golden State play in the playoffs because it'll be that NorCal SoCal rivalry.
Run that back one more time.
I would love to see I would love to see the Kings and the Warriors face off in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's like the battle of the NorCal teams. Yeah, I feel you. Me too. That's what I'm looking for. It's been a long time since Sacramento's been in the playoffs, 17 years. So those fans are chomping at the bit. And I know, they're ready for a playoff run, and it'd be exciting if it happened. But why don't we shift? You want to shift to some baseball talk, Shardol, because
Yeah,
the the
let's
San
move to
Francisco
some.
Giants season is underway, and they're 1-2 to start the year. As you can see, I got it up here. You see the show topics. We hit on the Warriors post game. Now we're going to talk about some San Francisco Giants. Shardol, I watched some of the game today, and they were shut out again. All right, the the Giants got 3 hits. Like, come on, you can't win a game when you're only getting 3 hits.
I
I
mean, I
know.
mean, I
Yeah,
mean the Giants ended up losing this game to the New York Yankees 6-0. They got, the Yankees won two out of three. The Giants won one, and then the Yankees won the next two in the series.
yeah,
So, what were your thoughts on the slugfest, man? It was an absolute slugfest in New York today, man. Judge hit a bomb. Stanton hit a bomb. You know,
yeah.
there were just bombs left and right. The Yankees were hitting. They're just a powerful hitting team.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed with Ross Stripling. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. I mean, he didn't pitch very well. The Yankees, I mean, they got a good lineup, and as you said, Aaron Judge left the yard, Giancarlo Stanton left the yard. I will say, I mean, the offense. Where's the offense? The first game of the year, Shardall, they didn't score a single run either. When we're talking about the Giants, they got shut out 2 out of their 3 games. Okay, so I'm looking at this lineup saying, where's the offense going to come from? Michael Conforto seems to be struggling. He's hitting 083 through 3 games. And again, this is a small sample. Lamont Wade, he's not doing anything. Jock Peterson, I know he hit a bomb yesterday, so that was the game the Giants won. Let me pull up that box score, because I know Jock left the yard, and then Crawford, B. Croft, the shortstop, hit the dinger. And the bullpen, I was really excited about the Giants bullpen coming into the year. They got the Rogers brothers. They brought in the lefty who I really like, although he gave up a run to the Yankees. And then Camilo Doval came in, and I was kind of concerned about Doval. Like, he was really struggling to find the zone. Getting a little feedback here from, yeah. So there's some concern. Doval, the two-seamer, it was kind of, I don't know if it was coming out of his hand well or what it was, but he wasn't finding the zone consistently. Walked a couple guys, made it interesting, but they still closed it out. Okay, Giants got the win. But the concerning thing is 2 out of these 3 games, the offense has been non-existent. Okay, getting 3 or 4 hits, it's not going to cut it. Spencer says Doval was having pitch clock issues. He was. I saw that. I believe it was the first batter he faced. He had, and that's new. I'm still learning about it. And watching baseball with these rule changes, I will say, it doesn't look drastically different. Like, the pace does feel like it's a quicker pace, but I think so far I'm enjoying it. I think I'm liking the rule changes, and as an old school baseball guy, I was hesitant, because I'm like, oh man, baseball's a great thing. I don't think you want to mess with it, but I will say I think I do like the pace. There's some, maybe players were kind of taking advantage of it in terms of stepping out and just taking their sweet time throwing, getting ready to throw the ball in terms of the pitchers. So I'm liking the pace. And as far as the outlook for the Giants, man, I don't know. The offense, 3 games in, I'm a little bit concerned about the offense. Logan Webb looked really good, striked out a bunch of batters in that first game. But I mean, there's some. I'm not sure that the Giants are going to be making the postseason. I hope they do. And baseball is the thing where you don't need the best roster to make the playoffs. Like in the NBA or the NFL, I feel like, yeah, you know what? You can usually look at a roster, look at a depth chart, and say, okay, this is a really good team. This is a playoff team. But baseball, it's a little bit harder to identify. There's just something about the game. We know when the Giants win all these World Series, they didn't have the best rosters, right? They had good pitching, but in terms, they didn't have a bunch of 30 or 40 home run guys up and down the lineup. So we'll see where this thing goes. You got any other thoughts on the Giants, Shardol?
So the New York Yankees are a really great baseball team, and they weren't gonna let the Giants sweep them. Like, there's no way. Like, they got all these star players on their roster. Like, there was no way that they were gonna let the Giants win all 3 games in the series. You gotta be fair and square. You gotta let them win a couple. You gotta win a couple, so you're even, right? But this was not even at all, right? New York won 2 games out of the series. Giants won one. It wasn't even even. It was like the New York Yankees dominated the series, like 2-1.
At
Like
least the
they,
Giants didn't get swept, right? That's the thing. No
but like
brooms in the stadium today. They didn't get swept, but you're right. I mean, yeah, you want to win every series you play in. And the Giants, they didn't win this first series against the Yankees.
and this was a really exciting matchup because the Yankees are and the Giants are, they're two of the biggest franchises, and this
Absolutely. Some
game
of the
was very
most
entertaining. Like,
prestigious franchises. Absolutely. And both of them came from New York, right? We used to be the New York Giants before they came out west. So these teams go back quite a ways.
What are some tips to give the Giants if they want to, come into the season and win more games, play more hard, play more competitive, well solid unit.
Well, they can't have these stupid mistakes. Like Alex Cobb had a ball. He could have got out of an inning and he airmails a throw to the second baseman. Right now, runners are scoring. It could have been a double play ball, but instead, guys are running around the bases. You can't make these errors. And then they got to swing the bat, Shardol. They got to hit. It puts a lot of pressure on the pitching staff when you're only getting 3 or 4 hits and you're putting up a couple runs. I mean, in the case today or opening day, they put up 0 runs. You can't win a game when you score no runs. So they're gonna. And I will say, to start the year, I feel like pitching usually starts out ahead of hitting. The pitchers are just ahead of the hitters. It might take a week or two for kind of the hitters to catch up and get on par. And I think that's when this offense will pick it up. But yeah, you can't win a game when you score 0 runs.
So the San Francisco Giants start the season 1 and 2 on the year. I don't think that if they keep playing at this rate and they keep making mistakes at this rate, this season can get ugly. They're probably going to end the season like 1-50. I don't want to be cynical like that, but I'm saying if you don't play great,
Uh,
your
I
season's
mean
not going to be great.
that's bold. That's bold, Shardol. I don't see anything like that happening. I think this team they might just be a 500 baseball team. They might just be a 500 baseball team. We'll see. I really like their biggest offseason acquisition, Mitch Haniger, hasn't played yet. He's coming back from an oblique. Hopefully, he'll be back here pretty soon because I think Mitch Haniger is a good ball player. Michael Conforto, I did like the pickup in the offseason, but he's not doing anything right now. And it's early. It's only 3 games, but they're going to need Conforto to pick it up. Um, Yastrzemski, he's had a down couple years, but he's actually probably been one of their better hitters here to open up the year. Um, we'll see. We'll see where the offense is coming from. We can go up and down the lineup, but these guys are going to have to step it up and start hitting some balls hard and scoring some runs.
I know many New York Mets fans were a little bit upset when Michael Conforto decided to leave the Mets and come and play for the Bay. They thought that he would stay with the Mets probably for another year and then come here. But it was like they weren't expecting that he would make that blockbuster move and come to play for the Giants.
We're talking about Judge.
No, we're talking about so New York Mets were a little bit um um were a little bit upset that Michael Conforto used to play for the Mets. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah,
came
yeah,
over to
yeah.
the
He did.
Giants and they were not expecting that some guy, big guy like Conforto is gonna come and play for the Giants. Like they were not expecting that. That was like one of the biggest blockbuster moves, of the season to have something like Conforto come and play for the Giants.
He was a big time prospect coming up in the Mets organization. Now, I will say that they were definitely really high on him at one point. Last year, Conforto, he battled a couple injuries. He missed some time last year, so maybe that made him moving a little bit more palatable. But I like Conforto. We're going to need him to start swinging the bat here because I think he's a good hitter. I think he's got some talent. I want 20 plus bombs from Conforto. 60, 70 plus RBIs. I think he's that, and I think that's kind of his baseline. Like he could even exceed that, but that's just where some reasonable expectations I have for Conforto. And Spencer here says Estrada will have a good year. I want more opportunities for Johnson to run. Tyro Estrada, he's a good ball player, man. Last year, he was one of their best, most consistent players all year. I'm definitely a fan of Tyro Estrada. Johnson. Okay, Johnson, the center fielder. Bryce Johnson. We want to see him run. Okay, Spencer, I'll keep my eye on that. I don't know much about Bryce. I see him out there, and we'll see if he can show some speed. Feels like stolen bases are up across the league. Shardol, I don't know if you knew this, but the MLB, they made their bases bigger. Like they're almost like double the size. The bases are big now. And what that did is it kind of shortens the base paths. And in addition to the pitchers can only throw over, a couple times. So you put all these factors in, and stolen bases are up. So if Johnson's got some speed, Spencer, absolutely. I want to see, some more stolen bases. Tyro Estrada, too. He's another guy who could steal some bases. I want to see Estrada get out there on the base paths. I mean, starting out the year against the Yankees in New York, it's a tough task. Yankees are a freaking good team. Opening day, you're facing Garrett Cole, arguably the greatest pitcher alive right now. Arguably is Garrett Cole. Okay. And yeah, did he shut him down? Yeah. Did he have a bunch of strikeouts against the Giants? He did. Spencer said he had like 12 bags in spring. That's a lot of stolen bases. Okay. That tells me something. That tells me something. No doubt. Well, all right, Mark. Thanks for stopping by. If Larry's live, I might be heading over there a little later too. We'll see. But we're here. I'm with Shardol. Shardol, how's everything going tonight?
Um, so I'm really excited because I'm gonna be going to I'm gonna be attending the home opener, Giants versus Royals.
Really?
I'm gonna be in the stadium at that game because I have an off day the 7th and the 8th. I
That's gonna
go
be
back on
big
the
time.
9th to back to work, so I'm gonna be there at Oracle Park cheering them on to get them first home win of the season.
Hey, Oracle Park, it's the best ballpark in major leagues. Now, are you a garlic fry guy or are you getting a hot dog? Like when you go to a game, what's like the go-to snack that you need at the ballpark?
Garlic fries.
Garlic fries. Yeah, I feel you. Now, when you get the garlic fries, are you putting ketchup on the garlic fries or you're just going just straight garlic fries? Shoot, I lost you there for a sec.
So I go straight garlic fries.
You go straight garlic fries? Okay, me too. Me too. You know what? One time, I think I tried out like the ketchup, like I just put it on like the side of it. And I was like, you know what? I think with the garlic fries, you don't need to mask that. You just fully embrace the guttery, the the garlicky goodness that is the garlic fries. Like you don't need to add catch up to it. I tried it one time and I was like, nah, never again. So I'm with you there. No catch up on the garlic fries. Hey, enjoy the game. I know you're gonna have a good time. I usually try to get out to a couple Giants games a year, but back in the day I used to go to a lot more, but as you get older, a couple times a year, get the fam out there. It gets expensive when you start having kids and stuff, Shardol, and family. It's expensive to get everyone out there.
When I go to the game, I'm gonna be sitting in section 332. And those tickets are going $56 a piece.
Dang, so you're spending up. That's a premium seat right there. Hey, enjoy it, man. I think you're gonna have a good view. Why don't we wrap it up on some San Francisco 49ers talk? How do you feel about that, Shardol?
Let's talk about some Niners.
Let's do some Niners because you know what? There's some rumors floating around. Trey Lance. I know you like Lance. We've talked about Lance before, but I'm hearing some rumors, some speculation that he potentially could be traded. It sounds like, I don't know if you heard at the owners meeting, but Shanahan and Lynch were talking. Brock Purdy's like firmly kind of locked himself into that quarterback one position. Now, I mean, Shanahan did say, Trey, there's a way Trey could potentially maybe earn it back, but I want to know, if the Niners did trade Trey Lance, Shardol, as a Niners fan, how would that make you feel?
So as a 49er fan, I wouldn't be happy if we traded Lance. Because we just got him in the draft, and now people are throwing speculations out there that we're gonna trade him. Like, you gotta let the kid develop first before you think about criticizing him or deciding that you're gonna trade him to another team.
I love that. And I agree with you. I want to see what he's got, you know. It would be a shame if you only play in these four starts that we've seen him, you trade him off and you don't even know what he is, right? And his trade stock is low right now, in my opinion. He's coming off the injury. He hasn't played much. So now you're trading him for pennies on the dollar. I still think he's got talent and he's got potential. It could be just an egregious mistake. So that is where my concern level is.
Like when somebody says that the Trey Lance is gonna get traded, that's like saying like Steph Curry's gonna leave the Warriors. I mean, I'm not making a comparison between different sport, different connection between sports, but that's kind of like what it is, right? Like if Steph Curry left the Warriors, I'd be like, he's a star. Like Trey
I mean,
Lance,
Steph, that'd be more of a back-breaking blow because Steph has brought us all these championships. Like Lance, we've only seen him play like 4 games. So it wouldn't, I don't think it would feel quite the same to me, at least.
like everybody who do you think is going to be the starting quarterback for the 49ers in 2023? Some people are saying Trey Lance, some people are saying Brock Purdy. Um,
Yeah.
There's a quarterback battle between both of them because Trey Lance
Yeah.
is proving himself, but Brock Purdy is also a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Relevant for a reason, right? He was Mr. Irrelevant, but now
He
he's
was, but
proving
he didn't
himself
play
now, and
like
he's
Mr.
Mr.
Irrelevant
Relevant.
last year. He played just like a darn good quarterback in Shardol. Who do I think is going to be the starting quarterback? A lot's predicated on the elbow of Brock Purdy because he had the surgery. He tore the ligament in the elbow. He had the surgery. The 49ers don't know if he's going to be ready week 1. So, and I wouldn't want to rush him back. So if you're going to, ask me at this point who's going to start week 1, I'm going with Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to get, 2 or 3 starts to show what he's got. And if he plays good, well, at that point, that would absolutely boost his trade value. And at that point, because now if you trade him, I think maybe you get a second round pick, maybe you get an early third. But if you played him a couple games and he looked good during the preseason. Well, guess what? Now you can turn that into a 1. You can turn that into a 1 plus because, that's just how the quarterback market is. If you get a young guy who's showing something, but right now his stock is low, but with a good preseason, a couple good games to start the year, the trade value goes up. Now, if he plays good, it's like, why would you want to trade him? So it'll be interesting, but I'll go with Trey Lance as the week 1 starter.
So what were your thoughts on the Sam Darnold acquisition to San Francisco from Carolina? You think that was a good signing to get Darnold? Because I don't think he's underrated. He doesn't look really good. He's not a really good quarterback. I think there were way better people we could have gone than Darnold. I think we could have gone a way better quarterback than Darnold. So, you think he's going to add depth to this Niner team moving into 2023, starting off the NFL season?
That's a really good question. They obviously like something about Sam Darnold, okay? And I know he started playing better in Carolina last season, started taking care of the football because that was one of his biggest issues. His biggest problems was, his turnovers, his interceptions. But he started taking care of the ball a little bit better in Carolina. Former 3rd overall pick. What I think they did, Shardol, and this is something that I just kind of made up myself, and someone could probably poke holes in it, but I think they kind of blew some smoke Sam Darnold's way in the sense that, like, they wanted him as insurance. We know this quarterback room was really banged up last year, right? Bunch of injuries. Jimmy, Brock, Trey, like there's those Josh Johnson, bunch of injuries at the quarterback position. So they wanted that insurance, and they kind of like Sam Darnold. So they said, hey, Sam, we want you here. Brock, we don't know. He's got the elbow, so they're kind of playing up Brock's injury. We don't know how that's going to go. Trey Lance is also injured. And like, Sam, you might actually play. I think they kind of talked it up to get him in the building and get him to be their QB3. Because I think the Niners are still rolling with Brock Purdy. They like Brock, but I think they still are optimistic about Trey. And I think they think Trey still has potential. So I think they got Trey as their QB2, and Darnold is penciled in to be their 3rd guy. But if they were just to say, hey, Sam, we want you coming in, you're going to be our 3rd quarterback, he might not be as interested. So they told him, hey, we'll let you compete with Trey. Brock's injured, and you guys can compete. We'll see who gets on the field. But really, I think they kind of played that up and blew some smoke. And it's going to be, if Purdy is not ready to start the year, it's going to be Lance. You like that?
Rumors that are being thrown out saying that Brandon Ayuk's going to get traded. I don't think so. I don't know where that's probably a rumor. Like, I don't believe me in rumors. I myself do not like rumors. I do not, whenever somebody makes a rumor, I do not like a rumor. Like, end the rumors. Like, what is this? You're on this rumor train. What is this thing? Like, why
Yeah.
are you making all these like he's gonna go here and this guy's gonna get traded? Like, that's not gonna happen. Stop
It's
talking about
BS.
that nonsense.
It's pure speculation. Like, yeah, I'm with you. Like 99% of these rumors are just there to like stir up controversy. Like Ayuk, I do not think Ayuk's getting traded this offseason. The Niners, they got a really good team, and Ayuk's a really good player, and they don't have to give him up right now. He's not due for an extension quite yet. So they're not trading Ayuk this offseason. I don't believe so. But next offseason, I think it's a potential if it's just not working out to fit in the cap. They got a lot of high salary players. I could see next offseason them trading BA.
What are your thoughts on rumors? You don't agree with people making rumors, like false rumors? This team, he's going to this team. They're just stirring up the pot. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing, and nowadays, Shardol, it's about generating clicks. Nothing generates clicks like a good rumor. So a lot of these rumors, are there to kind of pique your interest. And I enjoy it once in a while because it gets your brain cells working. You start thinking about these different rumors and scenarios that could happen. And it just starts kind of making you think. Gives you a different perspective. Like, some BA, okay, BA's getting traded, or he's a potential trade candidate. That's the rumor. Just makes you think, like, well, can they extend him? He is a good player. He's going to want a lot of money. They've paid a lot of players. Just makes you think. So, I don't mind rumors. You got to know that you can't take them so seriously. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't overreact to a rumor, especially if you just see it on Twitter. And and also, Shardol, what I'll add is it matters who's the rumor coming from, right? I think that's really important. Like if you get it from an Ian Rappaport or an Adam Schefter, well, those are two really credible guys. But if you get it from, Willy Wonka, then if it's not about chocolate, then I'm probably not buying it.
On the 49ers season, like how many games do you think they're gonna win moving to 2023?
I mean, I don't have the schedule pulled up, so it's hard to give you an exact like win loss ratio right now. But I know they're really talented. I like them. I would say definitely double digits. Just off the top of my head, it's easy for me to kind of go to like 11 or 12. Feel like 11 or 12 feels pretty safe. I'm not ridiculous. Like I'm not going to say like 15-2 like that. I'd love it, but it's different. NFL. There's a lot of good teams. It's hard to do something like that. So I'd probably go 11-6, or 12-5. Probably where my head's at right now. How about you?
Um, so I think it depends how many games they win. When looking at the schedule, there's a lot of great teams in 2023 that Niners are going against. They're playing Philadelphia, they're playing Washington, Arizona.
Definitely.
So I just want to say I'm a big San Jose Sharks fan, and our team is currently eliminated from playoff contention. We weren't able to get the enough points to make it to the Stanley Cup final. I'm kind of heartbroken because I thought this team would at least make it, not to the final, but at least maybe to the quarterfinal, and then try and make it to the final. But their team, we're in a rebuild. Like we've traded a lot of players. Marlowe is no longer on the team. Pavelski is no longer on the team. Burns is now playing with Carolina Hurricanes. So this team is just not. I mean, I thought this team would be like talented. Like they always play it hard every year. But they just let everybody down. They just let all the fans who've been coming to the tank. They've been letting everybody down. It's just like I don't know what's going on with the Sharks.
Man,
I
they've
thought
been
the
letting
Sharks were
everyone
great.
down for a long time, Shardol. Like they can't win the big one. How many times have we seen the Sharks in the playoffs, even in the Stanley Cup finals, and they never come through. They never it's so disappointing. The Sharks, they're that one team in the Bay Area where it's, you know, I, they never win the Stanley Cup championship. Like feels like they're always pretty good and they make the playoffs and they got a good team, they got a good record, and then the playoffs roll around and they lose. So I haven't watched a ton of Shark hockey, if I'm going to be honest with you. I used to back in the day, back when they had Owen Nolan, Evgeny Nabokov, Mike Ricci. That was more of my Shark era where I used to tune in and watch what was going down on the ice. But nowadays, I kind of fell off. And to be honest, it might be because of all the letdowns. Like this team just was like season after season, they're losing in the playoffs. It's just so repetitive that I don't
Like
know. Yeah, go ahead.
the the thing that I don't like about the Sharks. I'm a big Sharks fan, by the way. I go to a lot of games at SAP Center. For me, I'm like, you gotta like win in a row, and the Sharks can't win games in a consistently on a consistent basis. That's what this really hurts me about this team. I don't want to be negative about my team, but I gotta be straightforward, honest about my team and how they're performing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I always want your honest opinion, and that's why I always appreciate you. And if I'm going on your channel, you're coming on mine. You always keep it 100 with me. Shardol, we're gonna wrap up here in a minute. are there any final thoughts you have about any of these Bay Area teams? And also, now would be a good time for you to plug your channel.
So my channel is SG Sports Talk channel. Um, Click the like and subscribe to my channel. No, I'm close to 200 subs. I need to get there as fast as I can. Um, Hey guys, subscribe to Barry Baller 18's channel. You know, he puts some great content out there, and you want to click that those notification button so you can be updated next time he posts some great content.
Hey, Shardol, I appreciate that and those kind words. Always have a blast talking to you. And, it's a fun time of the year. You got March Madness, you got the NFL off season. Is just that thing keeps ticking, and there's always nonstop action there. With the NBA playoffs starting up here pretty soon, the Major League Baseball season just kicked off. So it's a fun time of the year. I hope you're enjoying it. And that's it for us, everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for stopping by. Catch y'all next time.
Hey, Baller, it was